If you've survived a heart attack or stroke, congratulations on your recovery. Now I need to tell you something important that your cardiologist might not have emphasized enough. Your risk of a second event increases dramatically during winter months, with recurrence rates 3 to 4 times higher in cold weather than summer. Let me explain why recovered cardiovascular systems remain dangerously vulnerable. Surviving vessels often have residual damage that imaging doesn't always reveal. The heart muscle might have scar tissue affecting electrical conduction. Arteries that weren't completely blocked during your event still contain plaques that are vulnerable to rupture. Your cardiovascular system developed compensatory mechanisms to work around the damaged areas, but these compensations can fail under additional stress. Cold weather stresses this already compromised system in ways healthy cardiovascular systems can withstand. The blood pressure spikes, increased blood viscosity, and vascular constriction that merely inconvenience healthy people can overwhelm your limited cardiac reserve. Your heart is working near its capacity already. Winter's additional demands might exceed what it can provide. Medication metabolism changes with temperature affect you more than the general population. Some cardiac drugs are less effectively absorbed in cold weather. Others might need dose adjustments as your body's metabolic rate changes seasonally. Your physician might not routinely adjust medications seasonally, but perhaps they should for high-risk survivors. Psychological factors matter too. The stress and fear of winter, especially your first winter after a cardiac event, creates anxiety that itself stresses your cardiovascular system. Depression rates increase in winter, and depression is an independent risk factor for recurrent cardiac events. Physical activity typically decreases in winter. You are probably discharged with exercise recommendations, but icy sidewalks, cold temperatures, and shorter daylight hours make maintaining that activity level difficult. Deconditioning happens quickly and significantly increases your vulnerability. Vitamin D deficiency peaks in winter and appears particularly important for cardiovascular recovery. Survivors with low vitamin D have substantially higher recurrence rates. The mechanisms involve inflammation, blood pressure regulation, and endothelial function, all critical for maintaining cardiovascular stability. So, what should you do as a survivor facing winter? First, enhanced vigilance is absolutely necessary. This isn't about living in fear, it's about appropriate caution recognizing your genuine vulnerability. Monitor symptoms more carefully. Chest discomfort, unusual fatigue, or shortness of breath that might be ignorable in summer demands medical attention in winter. Consider asking your cardiologist about seasonal medication adjustments. Some survivors benefit from temporary increases in blood pressure medications or antiplatelet drugs during winter months. This should be discussed and planned, not self-adjusted. Maintain physical activity despite cold. Indoor options like mall walking, home exercises, or gym memberships become health necessities, not luxuries. Cardiac rehabilitation programs often offer winter-specific guidance. Temperature protection becomes critical. Dress more warmly than you think necessary. Avoid cold exposure during morning hours when combined risk is highest. Pre-warm your car, use heated garages when possible, and seriously consider limiting outdoor time during extreme cold. Hydration requires intentional effort. Set daily fluid intake goals and track them. Dehydration's effects on blood viscosity are more dangerous for your compromised cardiovascular system. Infection prevention matters enormously. Influenza and respiratory infections trigger recurrent events frequently. Get vaccinated, practice rigorous hand hygiene, and avoid crowds during peak illness seasons. If you do develop an infection, contact your cardiologist early. Early antiviral treatment or prophylactic medication adjustments might prevent progression to cardiac complications. Social connection and mental health support help too. Isolation and depression undermine cardiovascular stability. Maintain social engagement despite weather barriers. Telehealth options, support groups, and mental health services aren't signs of weakness. They're components of comprehensive cardiac care. The first winter after your event is especially high risk. Statistics show the recurrence rate peaks during this period. Make it through that first winter successfully, and your subsequent winter risk, while still elevated, improves significantly. Your survival was probably a combination of quick action, good medical care, and luck. Maintaining that survival through winter requires planning, vigilance, and recognition that you're in a genuinely different risk category than the general population. Cold weather isn't just uncomfortable for you, it's a serious threat that deserves serious preventive strategies.